It has been a little bit since I have posted a video. We've been very busy at work, and there's been a lot of stuff going on here as far as football season. So there's a lot of home games this fall. We had a bunch of parties for wedding showers and other such things. And I've got about 6 other projects I'm working on after work. So I've just been covered up. I hadn't had any time. So hunting season is just around the corner. And I used to really enjoy handgun hunting. The part that it started to get tough on me to handgun hunt because of my eyes. I didn't like particularly scoped handguns. I always like open sight. 44 Magnum, was my favorite, and single action. I like Ruger Super Blackhawk. But because of changes in my maturity, including my eyes and my joints, I had to downsize to a 357 because it was easier on my wrist, but I still had to solve the eye thing. Now, I have a personal hang up about electronic sights on revolvers. I just don't think they should be there, especially on single actions. Now, I did buy a mount for a single action, and I may put that on. I don't know. We'll see. But I did swap out the Blackhawk I had for this. This is a Smith & Wesson 686 Plus with a 4-inch barrel. It does have the little lawyer lock on there. That doesn't bother me as much as it does some people. I wish it wasn't on there, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And this is an all-chin mount. I'll try to put a link in the description. This is just a real sleek looking pistol mount. If y'all can see that right there. Okay. With a Vortex Venom. I've had this sight for a long time. I've used it in a lot of different things, but never for precision stuff. It's always been for play, So the problem is with open sights. Put this down for a second. With open sights, and just so there's all everybody's funny about all that, but look, so there's nothing in these things. I don't know if y'all can see it. There's nothing in there. And this one is also empty too. Right, it's empty too. And I thought it'd be neat to do a demonstration, because I'm going to show you how I shoot with open sights, as embarrassing as this is going to be, compared to how my accuracy improves with the electronic sight. That sight has a 6 MOA dot, which is kind of big. I got a target, paper target set up at 25 yards, and it pretty much covers the red. You'll see the targets it pretty much covers those, but I'm going to shoot this open sight. I used to be a pretty good shot. I've got a place to shoot here behind my house. I've always had houses where I had a place to shoot. I am always shooting, but it's gotten out where I cannot see. The rear sight. The proper way, would be to focus on your front sight, and then your rear sight and the target is somewhat blurry, and then the front sight gets centered in between the notch on the rear sight, leveled. There's people have different ideas whether the target should sit on top of your front sight or dead center, whatever. Y'all can determine that for yourselves. But I'm going to show you how I shoot with open sights, and then I'm going to throw this red dot. This is the little red dot that usually sits on this gun. It's like a Bushnell TRS 25, I think. These are inexpensive, but just bulletproof little red dots. They've got, I want to say it's like a 2 MOA dot. So I used to squirrel hunt with this gun quite a bit. Without this whole barrel upper part is a Tactical Solutions pack light upper, which is threaded. This is a silencer coat, Sparrow, I think, silencer on it. And of course, it had a stainless steel Ruger barrel on it that it was drilled and tapped. This is a Mark II Ruger, just a bulletproof little gun. This thing has shot thousands upon thousands, thousands of rounds. I've had it probably 35 years, probably 35 years, and just goes bang every time. It's just a great little, that Mark II to me is the best model, which is scoped, so I could squirrel hunt with it, you know, which is a lot of fun. I mean, handgun hunting in general is a lot of fun, but I'm gonna take this right here at 25 yards. Now it does have one of these fire sights on it. You know, I'll show you there's the fire sight, you know, which shows up real good, and just a blacked out rear sight, and you know, the rail and everything, and there's the Sparrow. So we're gonna load this thing up and shoot 5 rounds a couple times, and I'm gonna aim at the center of the target, because I mean, I just need that big of a aim point, you know. And we're not necessarily trying to find out if any of these are, the sights are on. It's just the groupings is the only thing we're concerned about, because the point of impact may change, and then we'll shoot the 686 in just a second. So I'll load this up and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I'm using some CCI standard velocity, because that works real good with that, you know, it's pretty quiet with that can on there. And then we're gonna, this one right here, a lot of people don't like the magazine release on the old ones, because you have to pull this back. You know, it's not very fast, of course, but you know, I don't really worry about fast anymore. So I'm gonna shoot this to the target, and we'll see see what it does. I'm gonna do the best I can. Believe me, I would love to not have to use electronic sights. I would love to be able to shoot like I used to be able to shoot. So there's no reason for me to try to make these sights, red dot sight sounds better. I don't sell them, you know. So we're gonna give this a go. Okay, now of course I don't have to wear hearing protection because of the can on here. I do have hearing protection over here for using on the other thing, but we'll put that on then. All right, here goes nothing. Got to load it up. It's much easier to hit the target when there's a bullet coming out of it. All right, 5 rounds. Let's go see. All right, there you go. That looks to be what, probably a 2.5 inch group, probably. You know, if each of these squares right here are an inch. So I'm gonna say 2.5, you know. So it's not quite, you know, squirrel sighted in, you know. If I hit one with that, that would be somewhat lucky. So now we're gonna put that red dot on there and see if we can tell a difference. All right, so now we're gonna put this red dot on there. I don't know if this thing will show up in the camera or not, as far as the dot size in there. Maybe I'll turn it up. Okay, now you can see the dot. Anyway, I can see the dot very good, and the dot is very small at 1, which is what I want to leave it on. And then we will mount this thing up, reload. Yeah, so we'll mount this thing up and reload with 5 more rounds. This is a really nice can. It's very quiet. I'm not big into all the silencer and stuff, but it does make it easier to come out here and shoot and not have to wear hearing protection, especially in the summertime when it's hot. So now I'm going to take some shots at one of the smaller squares with this red dot on there. Like I said, I don't know the size of this dot. I'm saying it's 2 MOA just because of the size difference between the 6 on the Vortex and this one. It does not cover one of those diamonds. I can still see the diamond around the dot. So we'll see what this does. You also get to leave both eyes open. All right, that's the difference. I mean, those CCI standard are pretty good. They're not a match ammo, but they are pretty good. Like I said, I probably cleaned that gun 3 years ago. It just runs and shoots good. I mean, it's just it lives up to the Ruger tank. Legend, I guess. So that just goes to show you the difference. You know, that cut my group down by more than half. So what that does is it extends my range. You know, whereas 25 yards may have been my limit before I put this sight on, and I'd have kind of been lucky, you know. If I was to dial this in to the point of aim where I want it, you know, I probably, and I have done it with this, I probably wouldn't be afraid to shoot at 50, so twice as far. And that's a big deal, especially when it gets to like this. I mean, that's good practice, and you know, that should translate well to the red dot on this. And even when I hunted with 44 Magnum, I didn't take any shots further than 100 yards, you know. That's just where I felt comfortable. When I started getting so bad, it got to be 25 yards, you know. So, but then I was carrying a Ruger Super Blackhawk for a 25-yard shot. It's just more, you know, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Too heavy, you know. I've got some other guns that you know, don't have all this stuff off, don't have red dots on them or good sights. Just had some excellent sights on it. I just couldn't see them, you know. I mean, I just can't see them. That I would shoot, you know, some stuff closer than that, you know, 10 or 15 yards. I mean, we were talking about deer stand, you know. I'm not trying to see how far I can shoot something. I just like the challenge of using a handgun, the same way people like the challenge of using a bow. And I don't necessarily care anything about horns anymore. You know, the trophy to me is the meat. We love the meat. I have gotten horns in the past, but I could care less. I'm not saying that I wouldn't, you know, if a new world record walked by, that I wouldn't try. You know, I surely would. But as far as chasing them down for that, no. I'd rather play with these and get meat, and that's just my choice, you know. Now, one of the positives of switching over to the revolver would be, like I said, it's empty. It'd be quick follow-up shots, and the trigger is, you know, compared to a single action, is amazing. I mean, the single action pull on this thing, I'm not a trigger gauge guy, but it's just so light, and there's no take up, and it's just very easy to be accurate with. So I'm going to shoot this with, I got some hand loads right here that are just 38 special. I haven't even had time to even work up, I do reload, haven't had time to work up a 357 load that I like. I'm in the process now, and that'll be another story. So I will put on some ear protection for these. All right, so we'll fire off these 7 and see what it does. Like I said, this dot's a good bit bigger. So even with this, since I'm going down in power from 44 Magnum to 357, I would probably limit my shots to 50 yards. You know, I don't know, maybe 70 or so if I had a really good rest, but it is only a 4-inch barrel. All right, we'll go down there and see what this looks like. I'll see if I can see the dot in this one too. Yeah, there it is right there. Anyway. Let's go see what this looks like. That is probably maybe 2 inches or so, I guess. And this is at 25 yards. You know, very happy with it. I mean, I feel like if I work up some loads, I can get that dialed in to where it'll do that better than that. Sweet shooting revolver. Excited to use it this year. Vortex Venom scope, all chin mount. I'll try to put links to all this stuff in the description. This is a very easy package to carry with me deer hunting, even if I decide to take a rifle with me. Y'all know that belt pack, that 511 LV6 belt pack that I like so much. This will barely squeeze in there, but it will fit in there. So that's also another win. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna try to get back on the video thing now that we're getting, or now that I'm getting caught up. But if you like everything, like and subscribe. We really appreciate y'all watching, and we will see y'all on the next one. Again, it kind of hurts my soul a little bit to put something like this on top of a revolver, but you know, I guess it's at least for me, it was the next logical step. I mean, the next step will probably be Velcro shoes, but you know, can't do anything about getting older.